Hi, it's Carl IDR Valentine here, again with Nautical Radio at I-44, and I'm joined by Mike Lambert. And
Hi.
what would you say your role is there?
I'm the event manager for Multiplay, so I run all of the events, sort of gaming festivals or corporate events that we do for clients.
So have you been doing the I-Series as long as it's been going, or?
I originally started as a punter, so I came for I-35, I-36 as a regular punter, and then I went to volunteer for I-37, so I-37 up to I-42 I was the COD lead admin for Multiplay, and then for I-43 to 45 I've been the event manager.
Well, we hear a lot of people actually join the staff as punters originally, and then they just got more involved in the community and thought it was awesome, and then ended up getting jobs here, like Ben, who we interviewed before. He apparently did the same thing.
Yeah.
And it's really cool what you guys do, and the whole promoting UK esports at the moment is so difficult because there isn't a scene. Everything you do right now is so commendable. How hard would you say it is trying to make a decent land in the UK?
It's more difficult to try and make a decent big size LAN in the UK, generally because of the European LANs. They get subsidised by their particular governments. For example, DreamHack gets subsidised.
DreamHack gets massively subsidised by Sweden.
Yeah. So the issues that we actually face are the costs that we have to incur to make that LAN possible. So basically, with campsite charges, venue hire, all the power that we have to do, the internet, a lot of the other countries get subsidised, whereas we in the UK have to actually pay for all of that. So when we hear backlashes for like ticket prices and things like that, it's quite downheartening when you try and think about most of the ticket price goes towards securing all the prize funds, making sure all the facilities are there for all the punters to come and actually have a really good time. Which is why, for instance, when you have some of the really big prize funds from in Sweden or in mainland Europe, we can't match them as much as we want to, because at the end of the day we're still a company. We still need to sort of make sure that we cover our costs. Well, we have to turn a profit as well, or else there's no reason for business. So with that, we just try our best. I mean, we've been hacking at it for so long.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully the next sort of Insomnia 46. We're going for 3,000, so
brilliant.
Touch wood,
yeah.
We'll hit that. If we hit that, I think it'll tip the balance, and then we'll start to go sort of further and further into gaining the biggest lands in the UK, biggest tournaments in the UK, possibly even Europe. So hopefully, yeah, it's going to be really good.
The thing is, if you look at, say, DreamHack, they're sponsored by Talia, who provide all of their internet and all of their prize funds. Say for Day 9's StarCraft contest, they do the entire prize pool for that.
Yeah.
How hard have you found it trying to secure sponsorship? Because there's not a lot of companies that maybe are educated in esports and kind of see it as the huge advertising thing that it could be.
Well, the thing with UK esports is it hasn't grown as much as mainland Europe esports has. So trying to get the sponsors in to actually cover this big StarCraft 2 tournament prize pots, the obviously Riot helping this event with League of Legends. So trying to actually get them in to do it, and with not a very strong esports scene compared to other major like the US or Europe, it's really, really hard. So it's kind of like a catch-22. You really need to try and bring them in by promising them that they'll get loads of advertising, which you can't really support if the esports scene doesn't back it up. So it's a case of we need the esports scene to actually pull together. Once we pull together, then we're able to then go to these big sponsors and say, look, we have 20,000 people turning out for this event. Seriously, you need to be here.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
It's brilliant. And then once that happens, then it'll snowball. It'll just snowball like and nothing else. So hopefully next event we can secure really big prize pools from really big sponsors.
Yeah.
Especially with 3,000 BYOC gamers and potentially even 10,000 spectators turning up to watch as well.
Well, that's really what especially in the UK, that's what we all hope for. We all want a DreamHack of the UK. That is our end goal, obviously. Or even, like, right now, even though it's not as big, I would say it's more like an MLG than a DreamHack right now. The Insomnia series, anyway. What I did wanted to ask, though, did the IPL help a lot, say, at I-44? Because, you had a big tournament going on. Did that pull in a lot more people than usual, or...?
I think with IPL 4, we were trying to sort of go more into the esports sort of higher end scene. So you've got all the pro players for StarCraft 2 who turned up for IPL 4.
There were huge players.
Huge players here. We had, I mean, even Koreans that we had here.
Well,
they were
with
massive.
people like White Ra, you know, the people that you wouldn't normally see in the UK because they have no reason to be.
Well, yeah, but unfortunately, with it being one of our smallest events, we didn't have the BYOC numbers to sort of to build on, you know, on the base of that. So hopefully, well, like I said, with I-46, with 3,000 sort of the target that we've got currently, we can then bring in the sponsors then bring in the big players. So then, you know, everyone then goes, oh my God, big players are here, I want to go into that. So it's just, like I say, snowball.
As you said, it's a catch-22 as well, trying to get the amount of people and then trying to get the players. You've got to kind of get that middle ground to make it all work.
Yes, you do. Yeah.
Would you say BYOC right now are your biggest funding source? Because I can imagine that it helps a lot anyway.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously the ticket prices that we've got, actually, if you think about it...
They seem really reasonable to me, thinking about everything in terms of the big picture. Like, I know a lot of people don't do it, but you kind of have to look at it as a business standpoint. Yeah,
of course. If you actually measure up the gaming time price per hour versus DreamHack, we're actually cheaper.
Yeah, DreamHack, maybe a lot of people don't think about it because it's an SEK as well, but it's pretty damn expensive.
It's really expensive, especially for Europeans. So you've got flights to pay for, you've got accommodation to pay for, you know, all the other bits that you necessarily wouldn't have to do with the mainland UK LAN. I mean, yes, you do have a bit of travel and some accommodation to cost with that as well, but not flights. You know, I'm pretty sure it's the same for all the European teams that come across to Insomnia.
Yeah,
they're going to be spending a lot of money on flights and things like that. So we try to measure up the ticket cost and make sure that it's the best price available, like for everyone. I mean, we're running a promotion during I-45 now. If you buy your I-46 ticket during I-45, you get it for 30% off.
That's brilliant.
You know, it's £64.40 for an entire weekend's worth of gaming, and so I mean that is hand in hand so much better cost per play than DreamHack. So.
Have you thought about doing like an invitational or something to try and get some bigger players over?
We have. We did it for IPL 4, obviously, so we got all the IPL 4 players across. The problem with invitationals is you need to have the prize pool there to attract the players over. The thing with pro players is obviously they're going to go where the money is.
Yes.
That's their job. That's how they make their money. So if there's not a lot of money up for grabs, then you're going to find a lot of the higher end players won't actually come over. So it's coming back to that catch-22. That's an invitational tournament is something that you would tack on to a major sponsored tournament, so like $20,000 for IPL 4.
Yes.
Or, you know, we've got obviously €6,000 up for grabs here from Riot. So that would be something that you would tack on.
Have you found it easier having a LAN event attached to a trade show rather than just a LAN event itself?
Well, originally it's a LAN event.
Yeah.
It was originally always started as a BYOC LAN. We've just added the exhibition as time goes on, just because obviously there is a lot of gamers here. We need to find something else for them to do when they're not gaming in tournaments or gaming on there. You know, sort of just the social side of community gaming as well. And it's just grown from there. So it's always and will always be a LAN party that's got an exhibition attached, not a trade show that's got a LAN party attached, which is the way we always try to look at it, because, you know, first and foremost, we're gamers.
Yeah,
everyone. It's just like going back to the original, start of the conversation. We have come from the community. Most of the people who work for Multiplay now are members of the community before we even started working for Multiplay. So, you know, we are passionate about LANs. I love LANs. The reason I'm actually working now for Multiplay is because I love LANs so much. I wanted to do it for a full-time job.
LANs are great.
LANs are awesome. I get to play computer games. You know, I get to check out everyone around the LAN who's playing computer games. It's the industry. I love the industry, and I'd much rather work in this industry than working somewhere else. So,
it's being able to work for your passion and like what you love must be absolutely great, especially like coming from the community, getting a bit involved, and then getting to the position where you are. Like for me, that would be a dream come true. I can imagine it is for you. Yeah. Have you thought about trying to get anything like, say, WCG attached to this? Because they're always looking for different places.
We did have WCG. WCG have been with us for the past couple of years, but unfortunately with the new sort of the route they're taking, they've moved away from PC gaming. Because our community are sort of are very much grounded in PC gaming. We do have obviously some Xbox sort of BYOC here at this event, but we're obviously predominantly in the PC market.
There's no doubt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and with WCG moving away from PC, I feel that it would probably just be. I think it's more to do with the tactics of that they're going for with regards to what products they have.
Yeah.
And things like that.
I thank you very much. You do an amazing job. I love the Insomnia series. It's been great interviewing you.
Thanks a lot.